So you're uncomfortable for the first 2-3 days. And then after that, it's like the clouds part. Your whole entire friend group is probably overweight and obese. Your family's probably overweight and obese.
You literally program your children however you want their emotions to be, how you want them to engage with other people. It is us who program them.
Our job is to create good adults. That's it. It's not to be these kids' best friends.
Nope.
It's not to fucking make them happy all the time.
All right, Glenn Dawson, I'm excited to have you. So Glenn, you're father, husband, business owner, and founder of ResetU. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you give me the elevator pitch for ResetU for anyone who doesn't know what it is?
It's kind of crazy. What we do at ResetU is basically reset decades of damage to your body, either from muscular imbalances that cause pain or hormonal damage from eating foods that aren't like really meant for us. So basically, to sum it up, online, without ever seeing you in person, we can get you better pain relief results than most physical therapists in person and chiropractors in person. And nutritionally, we can get you better results for fat loss than when you go see specialists and nutritionists and pay all this money for blood panels and stuff, all in one little happy location so you can be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and you guys have endless testimonials to back it up. Everything that you're saying.
Yeah, so many.
And there are trends that go around that I was like, Glenn Dawson was talking about this like 13 years ago. Glenn Dawson was talking about these barefoot shoes like 15 years ago before it was fucking cool. Glenn Dawson was talking about using voodoo bands. Other people know it as flossing. Fucking 15 years ago before now, like at my gym, you see guys flossing all the time, flossing their ankles, their knees. And it's like Glenn Dawson was talking about this so many years ago. So I always got to give you credit where credit's due.
Thanks, dude. That's crazy because at your gym, you must have been the innovator. You were like the first one to intermittent fast. You're the first one to like wear the weird barefoot shoes. The first one to like do a weird warm up before you deadlift. First one to use the voodoo floss band and work on ankle mobility. Like you're probably the first one to do all that stuff.
But because of you.
I mean, yeah. But it's kind of crazy that like you were the innovator, you know, like because no one ever knows that it's me. They just see, you know.
Yeah, they see me physically doing it in the gym. Yeah. So on the pod, I like to talk about, being a father, masculinity, what that looks like in raising kids. You are definitely a husband and father, a business owner, and you've talked about things in the past on social that I completely agree with, things that I've talked about as well. One thing that sticks out to me that can be triggering to people is the chemical imbalance people will have in their mind based on their BMI or having too much adipose tissue in their body that prevents them from having the ability to be happy. I believe we have both posted about those things. I post about it because to me, it's the hard, honest truth. I think you post about it because you're like, there is a way that you can change this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So,
studies show in 25 days, you can reverse the inflammation in the gut. And the second most neurological centers that control emotion in your gut. So, if you have somebody that's obese or overweight or unhealthy, they typically have more anxiety and depression than like statistically too. And you can reverse it and make people feel better, like literally in 25 days. Most clients that we have, they feel better literally in the first week. So like after a week, admittedly the first 2 days, they're grouchy because they're on a nutrition and like, no matter what diet I put you on, I can put you on a diet where all you eat is Twinkies. It's different. And different's uncomfortable. So you're uncomfortable for the first 2-3 days. And then after that, it's like the clouds part and all the like changes in your hormones start to happen and your body starts to feel different and like the inflammation goes down and the gassy feeling goes down, bowel movements feel better, energy levels go through the roof, sex drive goes through the roof. You just feel better in general. You heal faster. Everything is better. Inflammation in your joints gets better. Like everything feels better. And literally the first week. And then you can reset it all in 25 days in clinical studies. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And the reason why I like to bring health in is because if you're an unhealthy father and you're not checking all those markers that you're talking about, where people have the ability to feel better, it's like the father's energy leads the household, you know, and we're just setting those examples for our children. If we're not taking care of ourselves, and our children aren't going to take care of themselves because they're going to be programmed and it's going to be normalized to have in bodies that are just filled of inflammation, poor gut health. And we just think it's
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's a single mom, it's normally the father that leads the household.
True.
Like
Yeah.
if you're a single mom, you kind of have to do both. You have to wear the masculine hat and the feminine hat, which is tough. But I would say like both parents kind of lead a lot, because even if you have a super masculine dad who's in great shape, but you've got this like anxious, depressed mom who stays at home with the kids all day, and then that's 70% of their interaction with their parents. That kid's gonna be super anxious. That kid's gonna have a lot of like victim mindset issues. That kid's gonna pick up on her habits. That kid's gonna eat the same foods, you know. The likelihood of your kid being obese goes through the roof if both parents are obese. If one parent's obese, I think it's like 60% chance that the kid's going to be obese. And if two, it's like 80. So, it's incredible how much both parents play a role. But yeah, as a dad, because you like, this is like your podcast, I definitely think in most relationships, the dad's going to be the leader. And as a leader, you have a different set of rules that you need to follow. You don't get to follow the rules of everybody else.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's very something that I'm passionate about. And even when you're going into business with somebody, you know, and you see that a man is in shape, you understand that the guy is disciplined. He's not indulging. He has self-control, you know, even if it's like subconsciously, we see a guy who's in shape. We're like, you know what? This is a man who at least has respect for his own body and his own health. And to me, that is a big deal. I've joked that it kind of turns me off if I see a fat pastor. It's like you're preaching to a congregation and you don't have self-control when it comes to a fork and knife. Or if it's something like you're saying where they may think that they are eating healthy, but they're not doing the research to figure out why they still have all this inflammation, you know. And in this day and age, we have access to an unlimited amount of information. It's just kind of what information we're choosing.
Yeah. No, dude, I feel you. I always have, I think, it's really funny because people like online, especially like, oh, like it's so judgmental, da 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 da. Like every single person is judgmental. You can't turn it on. It's an innate thing that you do for survival. Every single person is judging. Whether you want to call it judging or you want to call it like profiling or whatever you want, whatever term you want to use, everyone's doing it. You can't turn it off. And if you are judging other people for judging, you're inherently judging yourself, right?
Yeah.
There's no way you get out of it. So once you realize that, you just be okay with it. I'm going to judge people. That doesn't devalue them. Like it's just, I'm going to judge them differently. It's difficult to judge somebody who, like you said, is a pastor who has an affair, or a pastor who's gluttonous, or a pastor who's breaking any of those big, even though all sins are created equal, like in our culture, they're not. Like there's bigger ones that like murder. Like there's a difference. And when you're not a beacon of what you should stand for, it's difficult. Or seeing an overweight trainer. I made a post one time and got criticized a lot. And I was talking about how you shouldn't see an overweight trainer, or trust an overweight trainer. And people were like, well, what, all these what ifs, and generally speaking, what if they had this metabolic imbalance, and making excuses for overweight trainers. But like, if you're a trainer And we know it takes about a year to lose 100 pounds. If you know your shit, then you can lose 100 pounds in a year. Say you were 400 pounds when you started out. Well, that means, in like 3 years, you can lose all the weight. You should be in shape if you know what you're doing. And if you know what you're doing and you're not physically showing it, then you're not passionate about it. And as you know, as a business owner, it takes two things. Like, you have to be talented, you have to be passionate. Because if you aren't putting in work hours on the weekends, or if you're not putting in focused work hours when other people are struggling to get through certain things, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of everyone. So I want somebody as my fitness professional, as my doctor, as my whatever it is, health professional, to look the part and be passionate and knowledgeable. And those things come with a healthy body. So, like, regardless, like, if you're on the track to getting healthier, awesome. Like, you could be an overweight trainer. You could be an overweight doctor. Maybe you'll lose 50 pounds. And that's incredible. I love it. I love it. Sooner or later, you're going to keep losing that weight and be healthy. And I'm going to trust you more when you're healthy, because then you've completed it. It's not an easy thing to do to lose 50 pounds. It's not an easy thing to do to lose 100 pounds. There's so much physically that goes into it, on a metabolic level, on a hormonal level, and then there's the mental level, all the habits that go into it, all the environmental things that happen. Your whole entire friend group is probably overweight and obese. Your family's probably overweight and obese. You have to literally trailblaze against all of those pressures, and then the hormonal thing that's holding you back. So you wake up every single day in this pool of hormones that's telling you to go eat donuts and eat more food than you should, and not exercise and everything else. It's difficult, man. It's hard. And so if you've done it, more power to you. Like, it's incredible. But I want to wait till you finish this. I want to see that you finished the job. Same thing, like, if you were a real estate agent, you could be the most passionate, hardworking real estate agent ever. If you don't own a home, I don't want to buy from you. You haven't figured it out yet. It's okay. Like, I applaud you. Someone's going to have to buy from you. Like, I don't want it to be me. I don't want to be the brain surgeon first 5 people that he goes and does brain surgery on, I want somebody who's been doing it for such a long time that they've mastered it. That way I know for a fact I'm getting help from an expert.
Yeah. So with the judging, I judge people, but I go the Martin Luther King route of off their character. Like, if a man has an affair, cheats on his wife, we're not going to be business partners, and most likely we're not going to be friends.
Yeah.
It's things like that. Because if you cheated on your wife, what makes me think that you're not going to cheat on me in business? That's your fucking wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got a question for you. When it comes to, because you mentioned, the man who can lose the 100 pounds, he's out of shape. He's doing the work. I've had people criticize me for saying, well, you don't know what it's like to be overweight because you've never been overweight. You've always had abs. You've always been in shape. I do this because just because you look in shape doesn't mean you are in shape. And it's like, which one is harder? To be overweight and get back into shape, or to have never allowed yourself to become someone who was out of shape? Never be someone who's had 12% body fat. Like, which one to you is harder? Because I grew up with 2 parents who were both overweight. So the temptation is there. I don't know why there's balloons going up on my screen, but there is that temptation to be like, well, we're all just fucking eating. Let's just fucking eat.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in an overweight family too. The only person that wasn't was my dad. And I've got genes that can easily gain. I just choose to eat certain foods so it's muscle. Like, you've known me since high school. Like, I used to weigh 210 in high school. I wasn't fat. Like, I was just much more muscular. And so, it's definitely harder though to be fat and obese and lose it. Because of how many things are going against you. It doesn't get any credit to never be fat. And it sucks for me too, because I'm a fitness guy, and there's so many fitness guys that'll post their fat picture and then like how fit they are now. And
Mm-hmm.
people are like, oh man, I can relate to them. And that's awesome. It doesn't mean that I've had to overcome it. That's why we have so many testimonials. Like no one believes
Yeah.
that this guy who's been fit his entire life can get people that have been obese their entire life results. That's why we guarantee our program in the first 30 days. Like you'll give you a full refund, dude, if you don't get the progress that you want in your first 30 days. Like literally, if you're not pain free and proud of the weight loss you've had, we'll refund you in full. We have no problem doing that. We've been in business for over 9 years now. So we haven't been giving a ton of refunds out. But like, I do think one's easier because of the habits you've built. The habits that you built in that environment, initially it was tough, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
when you were 10, when you were 15, when you were, and you had to like go against the grain and do something different than what your parents were doing and have, peanut butter, egg white, oatmeal breakfast and stuff and like get through those times, those rough
Mm-hmm.
times that you were doing that your parents weren't doing. Yeah, that was tough. But you've built those habits and it's easier to keep habits than it is to change them.
Yeah, I agree
And
with that one.
so like for you, you're automated now. It's easy for you, much easier to automate and stay healthy. And that's why it's so cool too. If somebody loses all the weight, guess what, dude? You did it.
Yeah.
Now your hormones function. Now your habits are in place. You can automate. Like I tell people all the time, dude, they're like, I don't think I can ever have a six pack. I'm like, oh, well, what do you want? I'm like flat stomach. I'm like, cool. That's 15% body fat. A six pack is 10%. The difference in our program is 2 months. Do you just want to keep the habits you're doing for 2 months? They're like, oh, is it 2 months? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, you can go from flat stomach to a six pack in 2 months without cardio, without anything else. You just got to keep it going and not self-sabotage. And they're like, well, why wouldn't anybody do it? Because you get satisfied with 15% body fat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start having cheat meals every single week. You realize how easy it is to maintain because maintaining is a completely different ballgame, dude. It's so much easier. And you're like, oh, I can stay between 16 and 14% body fat and still drink alcohol and still eat bad food every single weekend. Why wouldn't I do that? I don't actually want a six pack. And so for those people that want a six pack, it's just do the same shit you're doing to lose weight for 2 more months and then maintain. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only difference is 2 more months of work. Simple. Those habits are already built in. So I would say, yeah, like hormonally, habitually, everything is set up easier for you and I because we never had to get fat. And I think, when you are obese, a lot of times, especially like the big weight loss clients that have lost like 150 pounds, it's getting rid of the identity of the fat guy or the fat kid that they once were. Whatever word that they use in their heads, gross, piece of shit, slob, whatever it is in their head, getting rid of that identity is difficult. Literally, at certain checkpoints, I'll force them to buy new clothes because even though they've lost so much weight, their silhouette's still so big because of the clothing they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta buy new clothes. You're a different person now.
You're going to feel
Get
different.
it through your head.
Yeah.
Get it through your head. And like some of them will have shocking revelations, like
Mm-hmm.
putting on a seatbelt without a seatbelt extender on the airplane. And they're like, what? Seatbelt extender?
Seatbelt extender.
Yeah. So some of them will put a seatbelt extender. I'll put a seatbelt on an airplane and not actually need the seatbelt extender, or sit in a chair and realize that they fit in the chair completely, or go shop for clothing and then mysteriously be 5 sizes down. Like those things you need to like re-solidify your identity as being a fit person, having people look at you differently. Like you talked about, like in business and everything else. When you're fit, people want you in their tribe. It's a tribal response. You want healthy people in your tribe because they're going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like they're better to breed with. They're better to get your back if you go fight in their tribe. You want healthy, fit, strong people in your tribe. So when you're healthy, fit, and strong, people perceive you differently. People treat you differently.
Yeah. Dr. Rhonda Patrick, her clinic has done some studies on um, males with lower body fat. When they reproduce, their children have higher IQ.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Dr. Rhonda Patrick, look that one up. They've done a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
work
sick.
into that.
I know who she is, dude. I just didn't know
Yeah.
about that recent study.
Yeah. Just know anyone else out there. Because when people like to think of it's like, well, they associate the guys who are in shape with, as being meatheads. And it's like, well, Dr. Rhonda Patrick, I mean, and you have Peter Attia, they're talking about the cognitive function when you have muscle mass. They're talking about bone density because we are lifting weight and how that actually allows us to live longer and have a higher cognitive function. So we should be lifting. We should be worried about our health.
I don't know if that's true.
Ooh, let's hear it. I want to hear the pushback.
I don't know if people actually associate being buff meatheads with being dumb. I don't know
Oh,
that to be
okay.
true.
You think that is an old thing that's gone away?
No, I think it might be like a hater thing, but I don't
Okay.
think it's like necessarily or inherently true. No
I mean,
one's
I don't
ever
think it's
thought of me
fucking
as
true.
stupid.
Yeah.
I've been buff since I was like 13 and no one's thought of me as stupid. And I don't think, no one's ever thought of you as stupid. I think there's a part of hater in all of us where like, well, they
Mhm.
can't also be handsome, good looking, fit, strong, and super intelligent. And if they're super intelligent, well, they can't be rich too. That's just not fair.
Yeah, and they
And
can't
then
be
they're
super
super
jacked.
rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Justin Timberlake complex. Like you can't be good at everything, but like
Hmm.
sometimes people are.
Yeah.
Like the dude can sing, dance, super funny on SNL, great actor,
Hmm.
like creates his own beats, like made the movie Trolls. Like the dude is super handsome, in great shape. There's Justin Timberlake's out there. You
Yeah.
got to deal with it, dude.
Have you guys
But I
met
don't.
Jesse Carstairs and Glenn Dawson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know about that. There's a book called Spark Exercise in the Brain,
Hmm.
where they went through in a school in Naperville, Illinois, and I'm gonna butcher this with what I remember because I haven't read it in a long time. But they were taking middle school students and they were testing 11th and 17th in the world in math and science one year. And then the next year they removed study hall and they gave them after school sports and they incorporated a 0 period exercise program where they made them run the mile with a heart rate monitor on. So that way
Okay.
there's always equal effort. Like faster kids would get worse grades if they were dogging it. And like a slow kid who's busting his ass, like heart rate's through the roof, they got an A. So it was all based on effort. Um, did that every single morning and they moved their math and science, like their difficult subjects in the morning right after their workout so that they can have all the hormonal benefit and learn better. The next year, those same kids tested 1 and 3 in the world in math and science.
Wow.
They took away study hall and increased exercise. That's it. They also found like the exact same amount of chemical change as antidepressant drugs when they were doing the exercising. So the kids were happier. They also found their short-term memory recall increased by 24%. Um, they were able to focus, like everything was better. Every single thing. And I like to think of it like, people that own huskies and they don't exercise them. Like the dog is bred to run miles and
Yeah.
miles and miles. It's got this crazy high drive. And they're like, well, like Husky's such a bad dog. It's so ill-mannered. And it's going to piss on all your furniture. It's going to rip everything apart. Like,
Not
not if
fucking
you run
listen to
it.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. If you run that dog, hormonally, it's happier. It's better off when you actually run that dog and it like does what it's supposed to do. But if you don't take it out for a run, yeah, 2 days in your apartment, like the dog is going to lose its mind.
Yeah.
It's the
Eat
same
all your
thing I think with
shoes.
our kids. Yeah.
Totally with our kids. That's one of the things why I love homeschooling. I have two boys. Okay. we are lucky. Not everyone can homeschool. Not everyone has a stay-at-home mom, and not everyone works from home as a father. But especially boys needing that exercise, like they're outside all the time, climbing trees. They do daytime, like we got the wrestling gym that he goes to do a homeschool wrestling 10 a.m. Because most sports activities for kids are all at night. We got a gymnastics place in our area to do a homeschool one at 11 a.m. on another day. And it's like the kids should be outside just fucking running amok. Go to the creek, go hike the mountain, go take
All the extra stimuli,
exactly.
all the extra vitamin D, all the things that they need
Yeah,
to
and
grow.
some of my closest friends, they have their kids in private school. They were homeschooling. They put them in private school. This private school, do you know that they do recess on Friday? One fucking day a week. And it's like, dude, you have a 6-year-old son. You think that's healthy for him? And they're just pounded with homework. They're like, man, these guys have a lot of homework. And it's like, that
How
sounds
many
like it
hours
sucks.
are they in school for?
9 to 3.
I mean, at least
6
with
hours every
like
day.
my kids wake up super early, so at least with that you could like go run your kid on their own.
But who does
but,
that?
like,
How many parents are doing that? Is my, you're the exception though. You are the exception.
yeah.
I
Well,
think me
it's
and
very difficult
you,
to see that
yeah,
stuff like in those books and stuff and not want your kid to be smarter, especially epigenetics and how you can transform your kid. Like,
totally.
and for those of you, have you talked to your audience about epigenetics?
Nope. Spill it.
So if you think about epigenetics, um, it's like having a big piano keyboard with all the genes that your child could have. However, environment and like what you do with your kid plays a factor on which piano keys get played. So if you want your kid to be fast and then every single day you make your kid sprint, all of a sudden the piano keys that get played will be the sprinting keys. Your kid will be much faster if it has those. Now, obviously, like not every kid can be LeBron James. You never got those piano keys in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want your kid to be intelligent and they're like, going through all these different stimuli and all these different like learning resources, and then you want them to be healthy, have a fast metabolism, you're playing those piano keys. Those are the genes that fire for them, and those other ones don't get used. Your kids have way too much DNA. Like not all of it gets used. So whatever your wife gave your kids, whatever you gave your kids, that compilation, you can literally mold your child on a genetic level to fire different DNA as they grow up. You could literally change your kid from an endurance athlete to an explosive athlete based off of what you've given them on a DNA level. You can change them for super good at focus. You can change them from really good at reading. Like you can change all those things if they have that genetic makeup in there. You can fire those genes for them.
Yeah, so my son just started playing football. He's in a flag football league. He has not touched a football in his life until 6 months ago. And when he turned 7, I never gave him a football. He got into football by accident 6 months ago because he would go do basketball. And then after basketball, the same coach had a small football camp. So that's where he discovered football. And he went from never playing to the best kid on his flag football team. In 2 games, he's ran for 2 touchdowns, thrown 3 touchdowns. He's a stud. And the thing is, when he first was playing, it's like he's terrible. He is so terrible. But here's the advantage that we have over any of the other parents. We have the ability to practice every day. I work from home. He's homeschooled. So that compounding, exactly what you're saying, we can focus on this. And he's just lighting up the field right now in 2 flag football games because it's like all we do is practice 30 minutes a day versus any of the other kids not doing that. Like I talk often about exactly what you're saying, but in more of from a parenting point of view of like we can reprogram. You literally program your children however you want their emotions to be. how you want them to engage with
Mm-hmm.
other people. It is us who program them. And even we as adults have the ability to reprogram ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes we don't, because we just are programmed by our parents. We take that programming and those qualities, and we just march forward in life without ever thinking about it. And some people will see in hindsight, man, I reacted like my father did. I react like my mother used to react. And you'll hear people joke, "Oh, I realize I'm a parent just like my mom." And they think it's funny. I often find it kind of sad, because it's like we don't want to change anything. Even those bad habits, people won't realize that they are lashing out like their father did or lashing out like their mother did. And it's just normalized. It's like, but should we be doing that, or can we reprogram ourselves? Because you're just programming your kid. And you can tell all the generations who are just the same, because they haven't chosen to reprogram how they're teaching their children or themselves.
Mm. I have kind of a different perspective on it.
Let's hear it.
Because like Jesse Carstairs, for instance, like you talked about how you don't want to program your kids the same way that your parents were programming you, and you want to do a different parenting style.
I mean, well, not me specifically, because I had fucking killer parents. I was
I was gonna say
very
you
lucky.
turned out really good.
I was lucky. There was definitely a handful of choices that I made, because you've never seen me drink alcohol or smoke weed when we were in high
Yeah.
school or college. That was a decision I made. My dad was like, "Don't ever lie to me," and that's about it. Get away with as much as you can. Most kids would be like, "Fucking party," but I was like, "Yeah, what if I get in trouble and then I lose his trust?" Because he never wanted me to get in trouble. But he just said, "Don't ever lie to me." I had fucking great parents who were super ass supportive. But I never
Yeah.
wanted to be in a position where I didn't have control. Think about some of the guys we were friends with in high school who liked to get in a lot of fights. You might know who I'm talking about, the Vances, and them. And I never wanted to be hanging out with any of them and be in a place where I was drunk and then just gonna get my ass kicked. I wanted to be
Mm.
sober and be able to do whatever I needed to do. And because you guys were all older than me and going to older events, it was like, I never want to be in a place where I'm not in 100% self control. And that was
Mm.
something that I learned.
Yeah.
But other than that, as far as how my parents raised me, I feel lucky as hell. Even my wife is like, "Your parents are fucking awesome. You're lucky." And I was like, "I know." So now you go. Continue with what you were gonna say.
I don't know, because you talk a lot about like raising men.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know a lot of men that I look up to that didn't have a pretty high bar or like hard parents.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's more difficult. And like my dad was probably the strictest father I've ever seen. I've like
Mm-hmm.
compared notes, never lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wouldn't take it back. Like, and I don't
Yeah.
think that I need to reinvent the wheel, you know? Like there's a lot of trauma there and I'm aware of it, but I think his job is to set me up to be the best adult I can be at 18. And when I
Totally
was
agree.
18, I graduated, I graduated at 17. So like I had art scholarships, athletic scholarships, and academic scholarships. Do whatever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Now I lost them all, like partied, but like he set me up for success and gave me like the best work ethic I could ever have. And the tools I didn't get, those are up to me to figure out as an adult.
Yeah.
Cause everything that you get has like some opposite downside to it. Like, so for me with crazy good work ethic, I didn't know that work ethic and money don't exactly equal each other. There's strategy, and like the largest wins I've had in business have come from strategy and execution and like slowing down, honestly. Still keeping the work ethic there, but like just plain exhausting myself. And I would notice like early in my career, I would measure my own happiness on how exhausted I was. Like, am I fully exhausted at the end of the day? I didn't make any more money, but my brain from what I was taught was like, if you're exhausted at the end of the day, then you're successful. You killed it. You did a great job. I had to learn on my own as an adult that exhaustion isn't a good, um, metric for success.
Yeah.
You know, there's other things that come with it. So I'm super grateful for my father for giving me work ethic. And I could think of a lot of other kids that don't get that. They get other things. Maybe they get generational wealth. They get something else. I'll take my tools any day of the week, dude. And so I know with my kids, they're not teenagers or anything yet, but I've already talked to my wife, like they're going to have discipline. They're going to have work ethic. They're going to have those things that he gave to us. And I'm going to alter it a little bit, but I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, you know?
Yeah. So I am in the same boat because I think in my very first podcast, I talked about how grateful I am for my father because he's that kind of guy. You line him up with 100 other guys and he'll outwork every single one of them. It's like he's the kind of guy who didn't graduate high school, went on to own a major construction company. You know, he's the kind of guy who overcame a lot of you could say the things that people would say would hold him back in life. Like no college degree, dropped out, had a mother who was in subsidized housing, who literally left and said, don't do anything that's going to get me in trouble. And they never saw her again. This is when he was in high school. He wasn't 18. He wasn't 17. This was when he was a freshman in high school. She literally just left. And she still took care of the housing to make sure that they had a place to live, but fucking left. So you could stay. It's like he had everything against him to not succeed in life. And the way he raised me, I wouldn't change one fucking thing about any of it. So I guess where my thing is with fathers and people who are raised and why I talk about like you might want to not do what they're doing is when I talk to my wife about like discipline and being hard on the boys, it can be very triggering because of how her father was with her brothers. Okay. And so it's like when you're a man who only lashes out by yelling, the first thing that happens is just straight yelling or never actually showing your children to do anything because you're just like, no, you can watch. You don't do it good enough when they're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way up. You're never actually involving your child in something, and they are a man who is very insecure, and they make up for that insecurity by merely yelling and screaming at people. I guess I know other people who grew up that way, where it's like, dude, your dad is a dick. You just fucking spilt your orange juice, and your dad's fucking screaming his head off at you. And I've seen those same kids grow up and they're parenting the exact same way. And it's like, you are your dad. No, man, my dad's an asshole. It's like, you're literally acting exactly how your dad was when we were kids. And they just don't realize it. Yeah. And it's like, to me, there's nothing masculine about screaming about at a 3-year-old, screaming at a 4-year-old. If you're a man, it's like, that's an innocent child. There's a vulnerable, innocent child. And the fact that you feel that your first reaction is a scream, that shows me an insecure man versus how can you just coach them through it? Hey, bud, there's no problem. You spilled your orange juice. Totally fine. This rug is a material thing. We can clean the rug, but we only drink our orange juice in the kitchen. Like, we don't drink it out here in the living room versus going straight to guns, yelling at your 4-year-old. Because how are they supposed to react? Then they're going to be walking on eggshells their whole life because they're going to be worried about the reaction of their parents on anything that they do wrong. I guess it's more of those type of people, guys who are raised with those kind of type of fathers. Because it's one thing my dad ripped my ass, but it was often earned when I was older and something that he had repeatedly told me not to do. Not his initial reaction. And he was very good at having a stern conversation with me that actually meant something versus him just fucking screaming, losing his head. He really never ever did that. But don't get me wrong, that dude put the fucking fear of God in me.
Hmm.
But it wasn't an initial instant reaction.
Yeah.
You know, in the Bible, it talks about like being aware of men who are quick to anger. You know, Marcus Aurelius talks about the same thing. Like, you know, don't associate with men who are quick to anger as well. It's kind of more of those things that I'm talking about because they just don't
Yeah.
know how to handle themselves, let alone handle their kids. But yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
take back anything my dad did. I wouldn't take it back for one bit.
The stories you tell about your brother-in-law makes it sound like they like don't even have awareness of it, which is like even more sad because you can't solve a problem if you don't have awareness of it.
Yeah, and let's say that they do. It's like because I've had like one guy, he's aware of how his father raised him and that he's caught himself parenting the same way. But then it's like, why are you still doing it 1 year later? You joke about how you're just like your dad, but why are you
Mm.
still doing it 1 year later? Why are you still doing it now 2 years later? Why
Yeah.
are you doing it now 3 years later? I've watched you raise your kid who's the same age as my kid. Why are you
Mm.
still doing it? It's easy to default to how we were programmed. You know, like you
Yeah.
said, change is hard. The change is the hard part because we can see that there is a better path. You can tell someone how to lose weight, but let's say you're not even charging anyone. You just meet someone and they're like, "Hey, I want to look like you." You could tell them. What's the probability that they'll actually do it?
If they're not charged, almost nothing.
Exactly. They're not going to
If they're
do it.
charged, they have a higher probability for sure because they have
Exactly.
skin in the game. But I've like set up people for failure. I stopped giving shit away for free because it's just they don't get it the end result. So I'll even charge them like, what do you have in your bank account that you can charge? $20? Here. Like, pay for it. That way you'll do it. Because if you don't pay for anything, I started paying for my friends' programs. They have like a $10,000 course on like
Mhm.
ads or something. And I'm like, cool, here. Like, you don't have to pay full price. I'm like, I won't do it unless I pay full price, dude.
Mhm.
So like, it's not even about that. It's like, I need to take it seriously. This is a
Yeah.
place that I want to grow in my life. So like, here's the cost. Here's what I'm willing to pay. It's not always true. I've taken free stuff and I've crushed it.
Yeah.
But I've been invested in other ways, like when I didn't have money, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it gives me more gratitude for my father, the way you talk about it, and it gives me more empathy towards people that didn't have that growing up. Cause I know one of the gifts that I got and my brother got was the ability to go through massive amounts of discomfort and
Mhm.
create habits easily. Um, and so change for me, though uncomfortable, if I'm aware of it, I can incorporate a habit. And like my friends have always told me, it's like, how the fuck do you do something I know you don't like to do? You just do it the next day.
Yeah.
Immediately. You just incorporated it and you do it every single day. You're the most consistent person I've ever met. You don't stop doing it. And it's not fun, but that ability to go through discomfort because of my difficult childhood was a superpower now of like,
Mhm. Enjoying
yeah,
the process.
I can go through discomfort simply because I know the end result.
Yeah.
And it sucks that not everybody gets that. Um, yeah, like if your job, I have a boy now too, and I have a little girl, and it's funny. My brother and I were talking about it, and we were like, hey, like our job is to create good adults. That's it. It's not to be these kids' best friends.
Nope.
It's not to fucking make them happy all the time. It's to make good adults.
Yeah.
That's it. And to take it even a step further, it, it's to create a fucking man.
Mm-hmm.
And no one
Better
that you can
than
think of like a fucking man, like that's a good man. They didn't have an easy childhood. I don't know
exactly.
anybody with an easy childhood that's like a good fucking man. Like that's a gentleman. Like you see a kid opening doors, kid
Mm-hmm.
fucking picking up trash on the sidewalk, kid just putting away a shopping cart that's not even his. Like you see a kid that's willing to stand up to a bully. Like that kid went through some fucking shit. Same thing with females. Like if you see a good female who's strong and confident and doesn't back down to a male, she's went through some shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
they've gone through difficult things. Their parents put them through struggle, which is good. Like it's not bad to make your kids struggle, and it's difficult as a parent to put them through that. It's hard.
I
You
think
talked
it's
about nutrition, like it's the same thing, dude.
yeah.
Of course your kids don't want to fucking eat vegetables. Of course they don't want to eat fucking chicken and like sweet potatoes the first week. If that's all they know, after a week of them bitching and moaning and complaining, that's all they know. They're gonna
That's
eat
all they
food.
know.
They're not gonna starve.
They're not.
You talked about homeschool. One of the things I'm because we'll probably put our kids in private school.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I'm hearing is that like kids sharing lunches and shit. And I'm like, fuck. Like,
Dude.
I already got to deal with the grandparents. Like, okay, Jolene, you can have like, like she just comes home and all she had was like Oreos, and that's straight up all she had for her meals. Or
At the
like,
grandparents' house?
yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, I'm all
See,
for it. Then like, you got to nip that shit in the bud when they come home.
yeah, see, I am my household is what you described. They don't know any different. My
Yeah.
kids eat this week it was a bunch of venison and a bunch of grass-fed, grass-finished beef. They'll have some sweet potatoes. We do like endless fruit, berries, but they can only have their fruit after they have their protein. That's one of the things. Everything else is grass-fed. We do grass-fed butter. We do ghee. They have raw milk. We do a lot of raw honey, locally sourced raw honey. They just don't know any different, and they fucking love it. They mow down their stuff. I found a good sourdough bread that I let them eat. It has no like folic acid, just no crap. There's 3 ingredients, and it's like, fuck yeah, dude.
What do you do for the people that, this is something, and we can be like open and vulnerable with each other.
Yeah.
I don't look at the bill when I buy groceries.
No, you
And
shouldn't. It's an
I made
investment into your
sure,
body.
well, there was a time in my business where I did, but one of my things
Dude,
was like,
yeah.
I don't want to look at that shit. I don't want to worry about that. So I'm going to work my ass off. So I never have to look at that bill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want that to happen to myself, but not everybody went through that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's like your recommendation for people that are like, well, Jesse, I don't make as much money as you. That grass-fed meat's expensive. The venison's expensive. The honey is expensive. Like the raw milk is expensive. Like how do you help them?
I would say you got to prioritize. Look at if you are like on a budget. Let's just say it's a young couple. Um, he might work for the state, just a mid-level job, and she's a dental hygienist with debt, college debt. So they're making it, but they're on a strict budget. I would ask them like, how much do you value the investment of the food that you're putting in your body? Like people at the end of the day will always choose investments, whether they realize it or not. Like when you get to a certain level, you're going to invest into like a money management fund, someone to help you grow your wealth. You're going to invest into the car that takes you somewhere, whether that's an actual investment or not. We're all going to make investments, but so what are you doing? Are you investing into that like $5 coffee every single morning? Or are you going to invest in this kind of food for your children? Because the thing about me is like, if the dad is like always eating out because he works a 9 to 5, Always eat. Okay. You have the choice. But do you really want your kids to eat that way? And I try to tell someone there's, you can go to like a natural grocers. They're far less than Whole Foods. Natural grocers it's less than Sprouts. I don't know how they are able to pull the margins off with their all their stuff's organic. They only sell organic food at natural grocers, like here in Reno. I'm assuming there's ones at other places. It's like just go make home meals versus spending out, like paying to go eat out. But like do the math. Where can you cut to invest into your body because it compounds over time? That inflammation is going to stick with you longer and longer. But some people don't have any value in food. They only eat it because we have to eat. I don't know if that really answered your question.
I mean, it's a good answer.
Because yeah,
I'm not the best person to talk to.
Dude, there was a time where we
people
were paying,
that make lower income.
Yeah.
Because I don't generally see the world as they do. I think I have a lot more control over my situation than most of them do. And they have a lot more, when I've talked to them, like a victim mindset of like, so-and-so put me here. I got a bad shake in life. This happened to me. And their focus, their filters are all set up for like, this happened to me. Not it happened for me or like, this is what I have. But I do know like just talking to them, working with them, and releasing products for them so that we can help them. Like there's a big cultural issue. Like you talked about, like they don't invest. Like none of them are investing, dude. Like none of them have savings. And then there's also the issue of like culturally, like you're raised on these foods. You're raised to shop at these places. Yeah. And you're raised to have these jobs and this expectation for what your life is. But there's a direct correlation with income and obesity. And it's, it makes me fucking sick. It fucking kills me, dude. I was one of my parents were either the least rich in the class or like fighting for the least rich spot.
Yeah.
And like I've done pretty well for myself. My brother's done pretty well for himself. And it kills me. Like to see people that don't have those habits. They don't have those skills. They don't have that ability to break through the culture. To get healed, dude. And I can't tell you how many times I've given people our like hormonal reset protocol. Like the first 25 days, you give it to them for free. In the first week, they'll lose 10 pounds. And they're like, I've been eating as much as I could and I lost 10 pounds. Like, how is that possible? I'm like, dude, most of it's water because you were so inflamed. Like you were just bloated and holding on to water. But you're eating real food now. Like you ate real food for a whole week.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Like, they don't eat real food for a whole week. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
Like just so everyone knows, you and I are completely crazy, abnormal. Normal American, like it was 74.5% of Americans are overweight or obese, according to the CDC in 2018. Those numbers never got updated after COVID. And we all know people probably put on more weight during COVID because they're stuck inside and they're depressed and they were eating and drinking their feelings.
Dude.
So like
22, 25%, 26% of children are obese.
But just hear me out. Like,
yeah, dude, it's just crazy.
Even adults, dude. It's probably up to like 78 to 80% now, post-COVID, which would mean there's like 20% that are healthy.
Yeah.
Not having a six-pack. Healthy.
Healthy.
And like, I know there's outliers, like me and Joe Rogan, who are guys that are like 5'9" and weigh a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also outliers who are obese and don't weigh a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like it's
Yep.
gonna weigh out
Yeah.
each other. Like the BMI scale, like it's gonna be pretty accurate. And
Yeah.
so if you're just baseline healthy in America, you're crazy. Because crazy is anything that's abnormal. You're
Mm-hmm.
abnormal. Normal people, they're obese. Like the fact that you eat the way that you do is insane. People see your videos, you're fucking crazy. You're insane. You might as well be Ben Greenfield, dude, living on a fucking reservation. Oh, you homeschool your kids too? What's the percentage of that? Like 10%?
Yeah.
You're crazy. You're insane, dude. And what is this? Like, this is how we were raised. You're closer to how human beings were supposed to be raised and what we're supposed to be ingesting and the way that we're supposed to be stimulated than anyone else. But that's also crazy.
Yeah. So I got almost a shorter answer for you. Any single family that's middle income or greater, there's literally no excuse for them not to eat healthy from a financial standpoint. If you're middle class or above, I don't care if it's carnivore, keto, animal-based, Mediterranean. There's no, whatever diet it is that you choose for you, but to just be eating whole foods and making sure they're the best quality. There's no excuse, because we'll spend like $800 a month on like a used Yukon Denali, when it's like you could have just bought a $500 a month payment vehicle that does the same thing and spent that extra $300 towards your food. Like, there's this thing with having an adult report card with the middle class. It's like, how about you start checking boxes on that health report card?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree. I don't think there's always reasons. I don't think there's ever an excuse because you could always just make more money. People like, oh my God, Glenn, did you just say make more money? Like,
I
yeah,
agree.
you could go get a different job. You have control over your situation, no matter what it is. You have control over your situation. You can find ways to make it happen. I just wish that there was a way, because imagine somebody grew up with bad habits, bad culture. They're already obese. They're trying to make changes. They're listening to you and they're like, I mean, all right, crazy fucking caveman over here running shirtless with his boys, like killing deers with his fucking bow and arrow and shit and training them like in the ways of the world, like at home. Like, how do I get what you have? And then somehow you make enough money to sustain all this on one income? Like, that sounds wildly crazy to me. I'm just going to go keep doing what I'm doing. How do you give them like that first taste of success?
So I would, oh, sorry, keep going.
No. I'm thinking about it. Like, even if you go to Walmart, like you could just buy chicken and broccoli, or chicken and potatoes. Like, those are both pretty damn cheap. It doesn't have to be organic chicken. It's better if it's organic chicken, but just start with regular ass chicken, regular ass potatoes, regular ass broccoli. Eggs are cheap as shit. You don't have to buy the pasture raised ones. Obviously, the pasture raised chicken eggs and the cage free chicken eggs are better, but like, just start there. I promise you, you just buy Whole Foods. If you just stick to the outside of the grocery store and don't go in those inner aisles, you will be so much healthier immediately.
Yeah, I would say get a Costco membership if someone was trying to start, because you make a good point. You don't have to go full grass-fed, grass-finished to start with like we do. But you can go to Costco. They sell the carton of eggs of 18. Super fucking affordable because you can get 18. Costco likes to sell in bulk. You can get organic ground beef that is $5 a pound at Costco. $5 a pound. You're not fucking finding a whole lot of ground beef cheaper than that. And then they sell it in the 3 blocks. There are things that you can buy at Costco in bulk, and it'll last you 2 fucking weeks. And then you're going to go every 2 weeks. You don't have to go to the grocery store every week. Go to Costco. You can buy just the generic brand of your Whole Foods and buy it in bulk. That's
It's so
and
funny
then
you say that.
you elevate to, like you said, the organics or the pasture raised or the grass finished, but you got to start somewhere, like you said.
Yeah, get some momentum. I'm about to go get. I brush my teeth way too frequently, and
Hmm.
so I have receding gum, and I need to get surgery to pull like some of my gum off the roof of my mouth and attach it to my other tooth so
Hmm.
that the root isn't showing. Um, and the periodontist is like, yeah, dude, you're gonna have to like not eat real food for a while. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I think for like 2 weeks, I'm gonna eat nothing besides ground beef and eggs. I'm gonna be so shredded, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
are.
God. Yeah, like mashed potatoes, ground beef, and eggs for like 2 weeks. I'd be insanely shredded on accident just because I had to have this surgery.
Hmm. No, it'll be good. People will be like, "What was your secret to beach season?" You're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Well, actually, it was a tooth thing."
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, I brush my teeth 4 times a day because I don't want coffee stains. And they tell you that that's too many. And so I
Hmm.
reseeded my own gum line from over brushing. And now I have to pay the price. But I'm
Yeah.
shredded. I'm so shredded.
Um, I want to go back to the children and the suffering because I wanted to jump in on that, but I didn't want to interrupt you because I truly believe that our job is to have our children suffer because we are to
Hmm.
prepare them for the world, but culturally we want to coddle them. And then when they get out into the world, they get punched in the mouth.
Dude, culturally and just emotionally.
Yeah.
I want
And
to see my girl sad, dude. My little baby girl. I want to see her sad, dude.
exactly. And
It's
I'm
so hard to challenge her and let her
Mhm.
eat shit, dude. Because your kids are older now, so they get higher risk, higher reward.
7 and 3.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
My daughter is almost 2, and
Okay.
we were going hiking, and she's like a little cocky, arrogant little girl, dude. I love it. I love it. She's just like pushing my hand away. She's like, no, Dada, no, I got it. I got it. She could barely form a sentence. She's like, I got it. I was like, all right, good, good, good. And she's walking, and then I could see there's like a part where the dirt is wiped away, and it's just like a slick rock.
Mhm.
And she hits that, and she doesn't ask for my hand. And I'm like, all right, she's gonna eat shit. And sure enough, dude, slides down, boom, scrapes both knees, scrapes her hands, starts crying. Her mom turns around, and she's like, oh, what's going on? And like tried to go give her a hug, and I was like,
Yeah. You got to do the
mm-mm,
face palm.
nope. Nope. She's like, well, she's hurting. She hurt herself. I was like, she did. And I was like, she skinned up her knees. And she's like, her knees are bleeding. And I was like, they are. I was like, dude, if we can't let her have skinned up bloody knees, how is she ever going to make it in life?
Hmm.
As she's like screaming and crying and yelling. I'm like, Brianna, we got to let her own this one. And I'm like, come on. Are you ready, baby girl? Dust it off. You're tough. You're tough. And she dusts her hands off, dusts her knees off, and she's like, boo boo, and like shows me her blood. And I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
you did. We'll get you to the car, baby girl, and we'll put a band-aid on it. We'll make it feel all better, okay? We gotta finish the hike. So she starts hiking. Next time she comes around some slick stuff, asks for daddy's hand, learns her
Yeah.
lesson real quick, dude. We get through it. And then literally like the next time we went through it, she goes over that slick stuff again. This time a little bit more cautious, shifts her weight differently, does it on her own, no hand. I'm like, well, that's shortcutting her learning curve all by
Yeah.
herself because she skinned her knees. She doesn't want to do that again.
Hmm. Yeah. The parenting thing is really important to me. I think because culturally, I just see us going in a wrong direction. Like I've made some videos on it on social that even like the parents who follow their toddlers around on the playground and talk for them, say hi, ask them what their name is, and it's like, dude, our kids are 3. They can fucking ask their name if they want. Like,
Hmm.
when is it gonna stop? How much
Yeah.
anxiety are you putting on that kid? Like, when they're in any social setting later, are they going to be like, where the hell is my mom? She normally talks for me. So I'm
Dude, how do
coaching.
you feel about the people that are on their phone when they're at the park?
Dude, that's on my. So because you see how much content I put out, I literally have that on this list right here of dads on their phones during sports activities slash
Dude,
the park.
moms
It's the
too.
same thing.
Speaking of
Yeah.
being judgmental, dude, it's so hard for me. I immediately judge people and I go, "All right." Like the Abraham Lincoln saying, I do not know you, or I don't like you, so I must get to know you better. I think that's how it goes. I'm
Hmm.
butchering that saying, but something like that. And I'm trying to think like, okay, put myself in this person's shoes. What are they doing? And like, there's this hot gymnastics class that we take my daughter to.
Hmm.
It's just like a bunch of 2 and 3 year olds running around in a gym full of like cool equipment and padding.
Hmm.
And like, if she wants daddy, she's like, daddy, we'll go out there, run with her, play with her. And then we leave her. Go do your own thing.
Yeah.
Interact with the kids. And then there's another mom and her daughter like just keeps yelling her mom's name. Doesn't do anything. She keeps coming up to her. Doesn't do anything. Mom's just on her phone. I admittedly sneaked. I had to. Like, what is she doing on her phone? Scrolling through Instagram.
Scrolling. That's all they do.
It's a 45-minute block of time for your kid to
Yeah.
exercise. The whole time was scrolling. The next time she comes, mom had her headphones in and was talking on the phone the entire 45 minutes, ignoring her kid. What's her kid do? She's the kid that doesn't get attention. You see her asking for attention from the other parents, the other people, the other kids,
Hmm.
and it fucking breaks my heart, dude.
Yeah.
Breaks my fucking heart. I almost want to give her attention, like, all right, because my wife and I are both there. Because we're lucky like you. We work from home,
Hmm.
do whatever the fuck we want with our schedule. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I'll go give this little girl attention, and then you go give our daughter attention. Like, we can
Yeah.
split up. But it's
It,
just like, it's so frustrating, dude.
it's a survival trait that is ingrained in us to little children to look for validation on what they're doing. Not validate. They don't understand the point of like having an ego validation. They want to be like, look at how I accomplished something. Did I do that right? You saw that I accomplished something. I'm achieving milestones in my life when they're the 2 and 3. So they're always looking up at their parents to see what they're doing. You go to the wrestling class that my boys are in, it's the same thing. Even the like 7-year-olds, when they land a good move, or they're looking to see like, did my parents see that? And
Yeah.
they're just scrolling, scrolling. And it's like, there have been times where I've wanted to take my phone out to be like, look at this. And then I'm like, the only negative thing about this video is that then I also had my phone out. And people could just be like, well, you just were on your phone probably the whole time too. And it's like, I just want to film all the parents who are just on their phone and their sons and daughters wanting them to be acknowledging that they're looking at them. That's all they want. They just want to be like, you to give them that like good job. Or like, we would do signs. So we would go like, yes, yes, like good, you know,
Yeah,
because
dude,
if
it's
they're
so
far away.
tough. I get it, dude. The cell phone is super addicting. I'd be lying to you if I said that there wasn't times where I'd scroll in front of my kids. I get so frustrated at myself, dude. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? I'll throw my phone across the room. Like, get away from me.
Hmm.
I have to put
Hmm.
it in another room. Because I think as a business owner, and not a lot of people get it, when you're the founder of a company, like my job, I love it. I love my job so much. I'm passionate about it. It's fun for me. It's like a video game I get to play every single day.
Yeah.
That also changes people's lives and they give me gratitude. And
Hmm.
then I make money from it. Why would I ever stop playing that video game?
Yeah.
Like I get so much from it. It's so incredible and it's challenging and there's competition. It's like, dude, it's so amazing. I love my fucking job. I love my job so much. And my cell phone gives me instant access where I can make more money, change more lives, get more gratitude feedback from people that I'm changing their lives, which I fucking love. I get all that from my cell phone. And so I open that thing up. It gives me all of this dopamine, all this pleasure,
Yeah.
and I can legit work from my phone for an entire day and never use my laptop, never use anything. So like, dude, it's tough for me to not use my cell phone for 45 minutes. But gosh damn it, dude, my daughter deserves it.
Yeah.
Like, my son deserves it. They deserve a present father. They deserve me
Mm-hmm.
there, paying attention. And honestly, like, with the studies that show for productivity, turning off makes you so much more productive when you get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's literally no reason to be on your phone other than you can't break the addiction.
Yeah.
Which I don't know a person who's not addicted.
I would tell you, I had to put a limit on social media on my phone. I get 1 hour a day, and then all my apps are turned off. So
Nice.
I've been there. I wouldn't use it so much in front of my kids, but every fucking chance that I had, if I just like, oh, I'm waiting for this thing to upload, social. Oh, I'm going to the bathroom, might as well take my phone. Even if I'm taking a pee, I was socialing while I was going pee. I was catching myself every meal. If it
I
wasn't a
need
meal
both
with my
hands
kids,
when I pee, so I couldn't use my phone.
oh, I just pee outside, so it goes wherever it goes. I do pee a lot outside at my house. But like I wouldn't do it if I was eating with my kids. But if my kids were not having a meal with me, I am eating and scrolling. So I had to put the 1 hour because I was no different. I was addicted. And the only thing was that I wouldn't do it around my kids. Or if I had to scratch that itch, I would grab my phone, go into my office or into the other room and scroll really quick.
Damn, that's how addicted we are.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. So I'm glad I got the 1 hour thing because I'm just like, fucking, I can overcome anything. I just put the 1 hour and I don't even let it bother me. The first week, I would pick up my phone and they would be all grayed out. And I'd be like, oh, I'm so fucking glad I did this. And it still, but like for a week, I would just always be picking it up and they're
What's
just
the app?
grayed out. It's in your iPhone settings.
Mm.
You can limit certain apps. You can customize it to all these different apps and you can put different time limits on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do that. That'd be
I love
sick
it.
because then I can only use it for so many hours because I do need to do social media,
Same.
but I could get in and get out. I could not get in, fuck around, and then get out.
Yeah.
And then, like a couple of friends send you reels and it's like some chick shaking her ass or something. And then the rest of your reels, because you watched it all the way through, the rest of your reels from that point on your feed are all girls shaking their ass. And you're like, God, I don't need this on my fucking mind. I'm like trying to stay clean here. I'm trying to not just get sucked in here. Or, dude, whatever it is, dude. Like, the algorithm is so good, dude. It's so good. Whatever you want. I'll look at one cheeseburger. The rest of it's like, this new spot in Vegas. But it's like perfectly set up for me to watch the whole thing. I'm like, damn, I really do need to watch this restaurant. And the next one, boom, like, it's just ding, 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 ding. It is so good, dude. So good. If you want to know somebody, look at their fucking reels. Just look at their algorithm. You'll know deep down inside who they are.
You can look at my feed. No chicks on my feed. I used to be that guy. And it would cause problems with me and my wife.
I'm going to send them to you.
Don't do that.
Destroy you.
I will literally reply to you. Don't fucking send me that shit and I won't watch it. My feed, if I show you my feed right now, it's like houses, dogs, and boxing.
Good for you.
Yeah. I look at a lot of houses, and for some reason, I look at a lot of dogs and boxing. Look, dude, there ain't a fucking girl on there.
Nice.
Bunch of boxing. There's like buffalo or something running, a bear. Or no,
mine's like
dirt bikes
stuff, and then
the health one's right there.
Draft stuff, and then politics stuff.
Yeah, so I got like rehab.
But the health stuff's a dangerous one, dude. Sometimes you can get those super hot girls sneak in on during the health stuff.
Yeah. See, more no chicks.
No chicks.
No chicks on mine, dude.
Laura's so pumped.
Yeah, dude. So like let's go into that really quick. How much time do you got?
How much time? What time is it?
12 on the dot.
I've got like 5 minutes.
How about this? We'll plan for a part 2.
All right.
Yeah, we can wrap it up right here.
And we're just talking about porn addiction.
Yeah, and how terrible it is.
Yeah, fucks you up, dude.
Yeah, because so like I had a buddy who's like, dude, I'm not into porn, and it's like they would just watch fitness girls on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on Instagram, and it's like that's virtually the same thing. They're pretty much wearing painted on clothes.
Yeah. No, it's tough, man.
Yeah, and I was that guy when I first got on Instagram.
I did long distance with Brianna for like 3 months when she moved to Vegas before I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I'm never going to cheat on a girl, but I fucking super horny, super high sex drive. So I would just look at porn every single night, jack off, and the porn just kept getting worse. So it was like, it started off with like teacher, hot teacher. And then like, that wasn't enough for me. Then it was like MILF, and it wasn't enough for me. And then it was like actual mom. I'm like, not enough for me. I need to keep getting deeper. And it was like, oh yeah, like now it's like a fucking actual mom vampire that also bleeds everywhere and like is also like choking somebody with a rope and like 5 people on one. And it's like, dude, what the fuck am I getting into? Not that bad, I'm exaggerating, but like it just kept getting worse. And it's so unrealistic. And when Bree came to visit, it was legit difficult for me to have an orgasm because I desensitized myself so much. She can't compete with like 5 girls on one dude.
Yeah, vampire mom who's bleeding, who's choking somebody.
Yeah, she can't do that.
Who has a twin.
It's not realistic. And so, and I'm so desensitized to the touch too because I'm doing it every single fucking night with the fucking grip of Thor. Like, it just fucked me up, dude. It fucked me up. And I was like, I was having trouble having an orgasm. I'm like, I'm done. So ever since then, I'll use like my imagination to masturbate, but I try to steer clear of it. And then those fucking images burn themselves in my fucking head, dude. They burn themselves in my head and it like takes me off my goals, takes me off my presence, my happiness. And there's this like innate fucking violent sexual part of me that wants to see those things and wants to fucking just go out and just attack every single woman I see and fucking just fucking intercourse all of them. But I have to like go back to being my Zen self. So when I get sabotaged with those videos, dude, it fucks me up too. And I've gotten sabotaged. I'm like, I've done the same thing. There's a dude on Joe Rogan's podcast, I think Ari Shaffir, who like looked up puppy videos so that all his timeline was puppies. So I've done that. Like I'll just look up straight up puppies, like puppies. So my food is puppies and food. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like I fixed it, but they always sneak back in every single time. And I don't have the willpower that you do where I'm like, oh, I won't watch it. Because I lie to myself and tell myself, oh, it's just me doing fitness research.
They do try to sneak in because I was looking for people who eat carnivore and animal based to send them meat from our ranch. Yeah. And then it goes to like, just like MMA dude eating meat. And then it's just like regular dude eating meat. And then it's like chick eating meat who was a vegan. And then it's like half naked chick eating meat. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, where was the MMA dude?
And you fucked up and you watched that video all the way through.
It was just pictures. But it was like, I'm like,
but you know what I'm saying?
They're trying to.
When you watch a video all the way through, you're fucked. Yeah. They know. Like, the bot knows. Like, oh, you stayed on this video way too long. There was one that was super sneaky, and it was this chick that was like, how good is your pause game? And I was like, what does that mean? And then she was like, it was like her wearing full clothes and then it like splashed her in her bikini. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta see that shit. And it's literally just me needing to close the loop.
Cause you want to hit the pause. I want to see. Pause.
I want to see. Like it's just closing the loop. It's nothing sexual. And now it's a game. Like I gotta see it. And then I finally did it and I was like, I've watched this video 4 times. You know what my timeline's going to be? Like, it's
Just
fucked. I got to
that.
go back to watching puppies again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
It's
funny.
fucked up, dude. Yeah, it's too good. The algorithm's too good.
Text me when you can do a part 2.
All right, dope.
I feel like we could go for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, we see the world very similarly.